Palm raises strengthen the hands, wrists, and forearms and are one of the most effective exercises for resolving or preventing carpal tunnel syndrome, especially when followed by active wrist and forearm stretches. In this video, we'll go over how to perform palm raises on a variety of surfaces. All right, one of my favorite ways to strengthen the hands and wrists. First off, we're going to start on the wall because this is the easiest. If you've got what you would consider weak hands, this is where you want to be. To start, we're going to squeeze up just like everything else and then actively extend the elbow. We want to go for an active lockout of the elbow, meaning the tricep is engaged and the extensors of the forearm are engaged. You should feel that pressure on the elbow right from the beginning. And right now you're doing an isometric contraction, stabilizing the elbow. You've already started rehabbing your elbow. We haven't even gotten there yet. Now we're going to put our hands on the wall in an active spread, okay? Not just in your default position, but actively open up the hands nice and wide, stiff, straight elbows, and then we're putting our hands flat on the wall. From here, we're going to step back until we can feel a little bit of load in the wrist, a little bit of weight. If it feels too heavy or sharp, you can just move closer or simply go up the wall. From here, we're pushing back through wrist flexion. Here's the wall, I'm pushing back. Much different than just leaning back. That's zero effort out of the wrist. My body weight is staying forward. It's my wrist that's pushing me back. See? And that's a palm raise. Think of it as the calf raise of the arm. Okay? Now, just like a lot of our other movements, we're actually going to focus on the eccentric here. So after you push out the first time, now you're going to tense up even more and resist your body weight. You're leaning forward and your wrist is resisting your body weight down for a good 5-10 seconds. And we're only pushing back out to reset the form. That's about it. That's about as simple as it gets. To increase the difficulty, you can move further down the wall or walk your feet back a little bit. Additionally, you can raise your heels, which will put even more load into the wrists. Subsequently, if you want to make things easier, lower your heels, move closer to the wall, and or move up. Easy, difficult. So that's just the basic neutral position. But of course, like everything else we do here, we don't just want to be strong in one position, we want to be strong in all positions. So in your practice, that's going to mean doing palm raises, not just from the neutral angle, but in the externally rotated angles and internally rotated angles. During your palm raises, make sure your elbows are always staying locked out. As soon as you start bending your elbows, now it's a push-up. Now you're using the bigger muscles of the arm to power this, and that's not what we want. We want the forearm and the wrist providing all the movement, which means the elbow remains actively locked out. All right, we're here at the desk, one of my favorite places to do some palm raises, especially on a heavy typing day. So, as long as your desk is about knee to waist high, that's going to be a good height to practice these. Just like the wall, you can make this as easy or as difficult as you want, depending on how you load your body. So, if I were to say, put my hands down like this, like I'm playing the piano, that would be zero load. Now, as soon as I start pushing my fingertips, actively pushing my fingertips into the desk, I can start feeling the feedback through the wrist. And from here, now I can just lean until I have enough load. What's enough load? Starting to feel heavy or even causing a little bit of sharpness, okay? If you have any wrist issues that need to be dealt with, put enough load on to expose them lightly, and then begin resisting the eccentric. If you ever feel like it's too heavy or too much, you can always just shift back, especially coming out of the concentric. And in fact, I often like to do it that way. I'll do a heavy eccentric, resist, all the way down to the palm, and then I'll let the pressure off in the concentric. Conversely, if I want to make this go a little bit faster, right? If I don't want to do quite as deep an investigation into the eccentric, I'll go to a moderate load, not a heavy load, but a moderate load, and push back up through concentric as well. Oh, baby. Important technical detail. My thumbs are detaching. I'm not coming up to a perch like that. There's nothing technically wrong with that. I just find this much more effective if the thumb remains unattached. You can focus more completely on the action of the wrist. Woo! If you have a desk that's too high for you to get proper leverage on, you can also just turn around and do it on your chair. Squat down a little bit, stiffen up, stabilize the whole form, and take the same principles into the chair. Load lightly to begin, right? I have no weight, doesn't feel like anything. But with just a little bit of a lean, now I've got some serious load in the wrists to resist into eccentric. Also, just like the wall, don't train only neutral, but also train externally rotated palm raises, as well as internally rotate palm raises. Keep that elbow actively locked out. Don't soften up in the rest of the arms just because you're concentrated on the wrist. Keep them tight, active, and supportive. And as you go into internal and external rotation, you'll uncover all sorts of weird nooks and crannies in the elbow and shoulder at the same time. After completing a set of palm raises and taking a good 10-15 seconds to shake off, I love to follow these up with some active forearm stretches in flexion and extension of the wrist. You can do these manually. With flexion, you're going to grab your own hand and resist it a little. Not a lot, just a little. And then extend and rotate. This is going to stretch all of the muscles on top of the forearm extensors, okay? So we're pulling, we're resisting, we're straightening, and we're twisting out. Be careful for a lot of you who have never done this before, or if you have carpal tunnel or tight forearms, which is a lot of you, you're going to do this too fast and go, ow, Sean doesn't know what he's talking about. Yes, I do. You just need to slow it down, okay? You might feel some sharpness coming out of this region in this stretch if it's your first time, so you may not be able to get to full extension. Take it one piece at a time. If that's as far as you can go, add some variability, let it acclimate, shake it off. A few practices later, notice it getting straighter and straighter and straighter. Wrist extension going the other way. We're going to pull on the fingers and then resist back a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. And then once again, pull into full extension. And then use this hand to kind of steer the hand being stretched, the arm being stretched, into different little pockets of resistance. These stretches can also be done on the desk or the chair. Same kind of a thing. You'll just pin your wrists to the desk, extend, and then rotate. Make sure your hand doesn't rotate with it, right? Your hand is stuck here. Straighten, rotate, and make sure this arm is a little bit stiff. Again, this is an active stretch. Don't just relax. Stay a little bit active, and you can add further variation through the fingers, opening and closing, articulation. I'll dig out all sorts of weird little things in there. If it's uncomfortable putting the back of your hand against a hard surface, go ahead and put something down. Happen to have a yoga block. That's nice. Little towel, little dish rag. No big deal. Whoa. And then for wrist extension, same thing. For this one, it's best to turn your hand around to some degree. It doesn't have to be all the way around, but past about 90 degrees, somewhere there, through the fingertips, and think of it like your palm raises. You're kind of resisting the eccentric, but you're thinking more of stretch and less of fatigue, right? This shouldn't fatigue you. It should still stretch, but you are still a little bit active. Then once you've got some stretch on, again, you can add some variation to go deeper into it. The chair works the same way. There's no rule that says you have to do one arm at a time. It just tends to work a little better in the beginning. But as you more fully mobilize this area, of course, you can do them two at a time. That's just a little more intense for people who are just starting out, though. Be warned. And of course, everything I just showed you can be done on the ground. If you're comfortable getting on the ground, I'd recommend having a pad for your knees. And then it's the same deal. Lean back, take the weight off of your hands, get up to a fully extended position, lean forward until you find a moderate bit of load, and then resist the eccentric. Deload the concentric to make it a little easier. Keep your load forward through the eccentric to make it harder. Shake and stretch afterwards. Good massage pairings for palm braiders include manual forearm and hand massages, and don't forget the fingers too, as well as ball massage for the forearm on the ground. For a more detailed demonstration of any of these massages, head to your massage tutorials. Enjoy!